What's happening? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Byte for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. And we start the show with the new MacBooks, and according to Mac Rumors, Apple is likely aiming for a late October launch for the redesigned MacBook Pro with rumored OLED Touch Bar and Touch ID sensor. Now, the report says Apple is moving quickly with development work on Mac OS 10.12.1, with its main focus on preparing the operating system to support the new hardware features of the new MacBook Pro. Apple will seed one more beta version of Mac OS 10.12.1 for public beta testing next week, finalizing it to then be loaded onto the new hardware. Apple is also said to be shifting to the Polaris AMD graphics chip on the higher-end 15-inch models, plus new MacBook Airs with USB-C ports and new iMacs with an AMD graphics chip that are expected before the end of the year. Now, there are still no rumors surrounding the Mac Pro and Mac Mini that are still desperately in need of new updates. And in products of the future that, I really want to see, Bloomberg reports Apple is pushing forward with development of their own Echo-like smart home device based on the Siri voice assistant. The project started more than 2 years ago and is now in the prototype testing phase. Think of it as Apple's own Amazon Echo, and the device is designed to control appliances, locks, lights, and curtains via voice activation. Now, to differentiate it from the competition, Apple's smart home device will have more advanced microphones and speaker technology, even including prototypes that are using facial recognition sensors. It would also be able to process Siri commands so you could read emails, text messages, tweets, and stream content from Apple Music. The project hasn't been finalized and could still be scrapped, but they need something like this. I love my Echo, and one made for the Apple ecosystem, it could be really special for Apple users. Now, the Big A is also looking to expand the reach of HealthKit for the Apple Watch to be a diagnosis tool, giving advice for users, doctors, and others, according to Bloomberg. The team is working on new apps for the Apple Watch, such as a sleep tracker app and one that measures a user's fitness level by measuring the time it takes for the heart rate to fall from its peak level to resting level. The goal for Apple's medical technology team is to turn the Apple Watch into a tool that improves the diagnosis of your health and can then be easily transferred over to physicians on site easily. Really, the next step is to prove that the data being collected is reliable and can be used to be really helpful for doctors. And a J.D. Power customer satisfaction survey has ranked Apple Music as the highest in overall customer satisfaction among the 7 main music streaming brands, based on about 4,500 people who have paid for a music service in the last 6 months. The scores were based on performance and reliability, ease of use, cost of service, content, communication, and customer service. Apple scored the highest with a score of 834 out of 1,000. Rhapsody had an 826, Pandora an 825, and Spotify at 824. So really, there's barely a difference between services 2 through 4, but Tidal wasn't even included on this. The survey also found that exclusive content improves customer advocacy of a service. So again, where was Tidal? Also in music, Drake's album Views recently became the first to surpass 1 billion streams on Apple Music, and they celebrated by giving him this nice plaque. Congrats, Drizzy Drake. We also celebrated a song from that album last year.
You used to make the greatest iPhones, innovation #1.
Also, a Business Insider report claims Apple is using an office in Israel to develop hardware for the rumored iPhone 8, according to an employee at the site. Now, this could really be any part of the phone, but we've heard all the rumors about the edge-to-edge glass display with a fingerprint sensor embedded into it. Calling it the iPhone 8, though, is kind of suspect, considering Apple would have to change their naming conventions by skipping the 7S name. But if they make a jump, they should just go directly to iPhone X, for the 10th anniversary, if you ask me. So come on, say it with me, iPhone X. Sounds cool, huh? We've also talked about this for several weeks, but in a report from Motherboard, Apple geniuses are saying that Apple knows about the iPhone 6's touch disease, but won't admit it publicly. It's the engineering flaw that has made too many to count iPhone 6's touch displays completely inactive and unresponsive to touch. Now that many of these phones are out of warranty, it costs $329 to make the repair on site. There's a class action lawsuit with more than 6,500 people who have contacted the law firm about it. So keep on ignoring it, Apple, because until you acknowledge that issue, that's a bad Apple. Oh! Very bad. And if you want to see the genius patents Apple is working on, feast your eyes on this. It's one of Apple's latest innovations, a paper bag. See, Apple Store bags currently tend to be a little flimsy, and according to this patent application, the paper bag may include a bag container formed of white solid bleached sulfate paper with at least 60% post-consumer content. Thank you, Apple. This bag will most definitely improve the quality of my life. It is real innovation. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show. You can email us at theapplebite@cnet.com or tweet me at Brian Tong. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you all next time for another Bite of the Apple.
Ever since that SJ left us, poo, Apple Watch ain't doing what I hope for.